Hi, this is Cindy Shebley from the Web Seller Circle, and today I have with me Sharon Ware. Sharon's a certified business consultant, an education specialist, and an international store designer. Sharon, hello.
Hi, Cindy. How are you?
Oh, pretty good. Great
Good.
day on a sunny Sunday morning or something.
Well, thank you so much for having me on the show. I really appreciate the opportunity.
Yes, Sharon. Sharon is, like I say, she's a store designer and a business consultant. And that's why I asked Sharon to come on the line and talk a little bit about why it's so important to have a branded store. And I know there's a lot of questions about, why, spend the extra time or the extra expense to have a branded store when eBay does a lot of the branding for us. So I thought I would ask Sharon to talk a little bit about that, and also talk a little bit about some of the designs that she's done and some of the things that she's learned or her customers or her clients have learned along the way. What do you think, Sharon?
Well, I think it's a great topic. Obviously, it's one that I'm passionate about.
Yeah.
As far as eBay stores, I think that they are the best value out there in the e-commerce world. For $15.95 a month for the basic store subscription, you can get an instant presence on the internet with selling your products through an eBay store. So I am totally sold on it. And plus, eBay does so much as far as purchasing keywords and things to help our stores and our custom pages and all of the search engine optimization built into the store to show up in the search engines on Google and Yahoo. And so part of our final value fees that we pay to eBay when we sell things goes to purchasing keywords. eBay purchases keywords through the so the browsers can pick it up on the internet.
Yeah,
and
it's a great value.
Yeah,
I think so too. It's eBay really does work in the background for you, getting you listed. So
exactly. If anybody has ever tried to go through like your own pay-per-click AdWords and that kind of thing, you know how expensive that can be, and it adds up in a very short amount of time. And so I appreciate all that eBay does for us through that program, through the stores and all of that.
Yes, having a store, it's the next step after you start listing. Is one of the best values, like you were saying, is to get a store. And I always recommend to my clients that, first thing you want to do is try listing a couple of things, but as soon as you're comfortable with that, open a store because you're going to get the most value out of eBay. And for all those reasons that you just said, Sharon.
Exactly.
So what we're looking at here is Dandelion Consulting. This is your web page?
It is, yes. Thank you for letting me showcase this today. This is me. I'm scrolling down here, and so I'm waving at everybody. Hello from sunny Orlando. And we've got a website here, and this is the home page. And I also have a business consulting page here where I have my portfolio of all the stores that I have. Well, not all of them, but most of the stores that I've set up here, and makeovers. And so we can just take a quick tour around there if you would like to do that.
I would love to.
Okay. We can start here at the first one, and this is the ClickPix Hub. And this is a store that they already had a custom logo that was built by another designer. And so when they came to me, they wanted a custom template that incorporated all of that. And so they had some colors in their store. I didn't do a before shot, which I certainly should have, but their colors didn't match their template. And so we changed out their colors. I sampled out the logo colors here, the shades, and we matched their listing frame here to the colors in their banner. And I did take their store banner, clipped it down just a little bit, and added it to a custom template. So this is their copy, and then on down below this comes the template with all of their terms that remain the same, obviously, with each listing. And so we just added some more interest to the listing by having a designed custom template for them that is specific for their business. Yes, exactly. And so they are very pleased with that.
Yes, that's a nice. So when people go from ticket to ticket, they see a consistent look.
Right, exactly.
And they're comfortable with professionalism of the site.
Right. And just before we take a tour here of some of the other ones, we don't need to necessarily go into every one, but just let me just say that branding is so important in today's marketplace. It's just like going into, a store. It's all about the experience. When you walk into that store, it's how do you feel when you go into that store? Do you have a good feeling? Does it make you comfortable? Is it pleasant? Are the colors pleasant? The whole buyer experience has become so vitally important. And if you can provide that experience to them through an eBay store, they will continue to come back over and over again. So you don't get just those one-time customers. You start building a repeat customer base, and you highlight your newsletter sign-up promotion box and just talk about the importance of signing up and giving them a what's in it for me, or with them, to sign up for their promotion, your newsletter through the promotion box.
And can you show us one that has a newsletter box?
Absolutely.
So we can see, so people can see what you're talking about?
Absolutely. So here is the VIP newsletter box. I like to call it a VIP because everybody wants to feel like a very important person.
Oh, excellent.
Instead of just the standard default eBay's wording, I always change it out. Be the first
put it
to
right
know.
Up there on the top?
Absolutely. I always put it up here at the top right-hand corner because it needs to be above the fold. When people come to your store, they need to see that newsletter. And above the fold, I mean, so
what we're seeing right now is
exactly.
It would be above the fold. You don't have to scroll down.
Exactly. And so they can click here and sign up for the newsletter. I also stress the importance of having a newsletter link inside the listing template itself and talking about that.
Now, when you say a newsletter link inside the template, you're talking about to the eBay store newsletter that's provided by eBay. Is that correct?
Absolutely. And I always put that up here at the top. So click here to join our newsletter. I think it's that important, the newsletter is, because it gets people who are definitely interested in your store, and you have an instant connection with them. And so you can set up your email marketing for your store. People are very intimidated by that email marketing whole concept, but it's so simple once you get it set up. It doesn't take a lot of time. And you have a welcome newsletter that when they sign up for the newsletter, that welcome email automatically gets sent. You don't have to go in and do anything.
eBay sends it?
Yes, eBay sends it. Well,
nice.
you have to set it up. And it's a one-time setup thing. You just put in whatever you'd like to say to that person. And then you set up also your email marketing. So you can set that up to go out once every week or 2 weeks or every month. It's not something that you have to change the wording in, but you can if you want to. And if you want to run sales, like if you want to announce that you've got a sale going on, you can certainly do that as well. So the stores allows you that email marketing campaign also, as well as all of this branding in here.
That's great. Just for it's on every level of store too. It's not just spend extra. It's the $15 store allows you to do the email marketing as well as the what do they call it? The anchor store.
Right, and the only difference is with the subscription levels as they go up from the basic to the premier to the anchor is the number of emails that you're allowed to send per month. And when you have a basic store, you have to get well over, I think, into the thousands and thousands and thousands of emails that you would send out before you would need to go to the anchor store for that reason. The anchor store has other built-in benefits of having an anchor store, but the email marketing is just one of the differences.
Yeah, maybe someday we can talk about the different store subscriptions and why you might want to do that, but we should probably leave that for another day because we've got some really exciting stores here I want you to show off.
Okay. That sounds great. I wanted to just go back to the National Attic because
Okay.
I love this store. Um, he came to me with a storefront that he
Mm-hmm.
really didn't like very much. He had this little logo right here that he
Mm-hmm.
loved, and I love it too. It's just kind of fun,
It
and
is sweet.
we wanted to incorporate that. And he already had his colors in place, so he had a designer that he was working with, and he wasn't going in the right direction with him. So he came to me and he said, I need some more help with this. I don't like my storefront, and what can you do? So we went and incorporated the attic look here with the picture behind the scenes, and it just kind of ties in the whole Nashville attic look for him.
Mm-hmm.
And then what we did is we created a custom template that also mimics that attic look with the border around here.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have, of course, the payment terms and all of the terms down here. In addition, he had an About Me page that we're still working on this. And he has some affiliate links here on his About Me page that um, actually are going to need to come down. And we're still working on the different elements of his store. And we got clarification on that this week through eBay that you cannot have the affiliate links there.
So you cannot have affiliate links on your About Me page.
Right.
That's good to know. I know there's a lot of confusion about that. So, what exactly did you find out about the About Me page, as far as what you are allowed to do for links?
Well, we found out Walter was going to put an email newsletter sign up on his site someplace that gathered email addresses where he could sign up people for an external newsletter. And we definitely found out that that is against the rules. And the affiliate links, they just said that if it takes you off of eBay where you can purchase outside of eBay, they're not allowed. And as we all know, most affiliate links are, they take you over to a sales page,
right,
a landing page of some kind. And so that definitely takes them off of the eBay site. So those links are not allowed.
Okay, makes sense. And it's always been kind of a gray area. Nobody really knows whether or not you're allowed to, because there is some linking that is allowed on the About Me page. But as far as we understand now, it's only to a site that doesn't sell something or draw the customer away from the eBay purchase.
Right. As you know, Cindy, we talked about this last week, and we went out and looked at the eBay help pages, and there was actually words in the eBay help pages that were contradictory that eBay wasn't even aware of. And so we took this all the way up to the top and to get clarification on this. And they did say that they were going to be changing that on the help page because they weren't aware that it was there. So there was some real confusion, and I can understand how people are confused because you hear one thing and they tell you one thing, and their help page says something else. So, it's their help pages are so complex, and there's so many of them. I can understand how it would be easy to miss a sentence, but that sentence was such an important sentence, and it has far-reaching, meaning to a lot of different people. So.
Yeah, it's good that they've agreed to clarify that a little bit more for us, because you really did go all the way to the top with that confusion. So we did get clarification, or you did, from the Office of the President
that is correct.
at eBay. So this is the official word.
Right.
I want you to, you're an international store designer, and you have a really exciting store that I'd love you to show folks and some of the things that you went through in setting the store up.
Okay, that sounds good. I have a store here called Rena's Italian Designer Shoes.
Ooh.
And this was an absolutely disaster mess when I got it. hold on a second, I'm so sorry. Let me just find, here we go. This is what it looked like when he came to me.
Wow.
And this doesn't show it all, but this was the homepage. And I know that the red and the green are the Italian colors and all of that, but it just had a real Christmassy look to me.
Yeah, it does.
And not that that's a bad thing, but when you're selling, high-end designer shoes, I felt like he needed definitely more polished look. So he had a website, and we incorporated just a few of the things from his website. But we gave him a different color here and a branded look. We picked up the gold here from those shoes and the black, and we added the logo, the icons here for the store navigation. But he has, since we opened this up, he wanted to sell to the Germany market. This gentleman here is located in Canada, and he sells to eBay.com, and he sells to eBay.ca. And his competition is selling a lot in the German market. So he wanted a template that was totally translated to German. He had tried this himself through the Babelfish site. So, and yes, he had somebody from one of his potential buyers emailed him and just absolutely just railed him up one side and down the other about how ridiculous his copy was. And so he came to me and he said, let's find somebody that can do this. So I put the word out, and I had a couple of people respond back to me, and we ended up hiring a translator. And he did a beautiful job of taking my design and translating that into German. And it's been an absolute delight to just go through this whole process. And so in addition to the translation, he gave me the words here for payment in Germany. And so I redid the icons here and the design part of it to be in German. We left that in English, but so anyhow, this going German to the Germany site has increased his traffic by 17% in the first month alone.
Wow.
And it has also increased the average time spent on his site per visit by 30%. And his traffic overall has increased from the beginning of when I started working with him. His traffic has increased by 47%. So he's doing a great job here with his sales, and it's been a really, really super fun project with Rena's stores. And I'm sorry, I keep clicking out of that and going back, but let me just get back over there. And that is the Rena's boutique.
Wow. So you put the word out, got a translator. That is just amazing, and to sell international. I understand now that over 50% of eBay users are now international. In other words, outside the United States. So finding a target market like this is amazing, and it's great. Getting these shoes into Germany.
It definitely is, and I have. It's not as hard as you think. It sounds like it's just some really big mystery, but if you can get a template translated correctly, it's easy to sell on the other locations. If you wanted to go to the eBay.fr, the France, or wherever, and it's not as difficult as you think. I'll be glad to help anybody move to that platform if you need assistance.
Oh, very good. And I noticed that people who sell from outside the United States and don't necessarily have English as their first language, and then I go to read their copy, you can always tell that it's, they don't know English, and it does translate really oddly, and it does, that experience is sort of diminished. You don't quite trust them as much as you would somebody who has natural speaking. So it would absolutely be worth it if you find a market that wants your product to have a store translated like this.
Absolutely. I totally agree with that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I know we're getting down to time. You just show us one more thing that I really would love people to hear about, and that is your sunglass seller, and a little bit about what you had to do to get this worldwide designer sunglasses off the ground. You know, we're running over, but if you could just give us a quick tour and some
I'll
of the
be
things
glad
that
to
you
do
learned.
that. This gentleman came to me in June of last year, and he has a lot of different eyeglass stores, and he wanted to sell designer sunglasses. So the biggest hurdle that he had was the authenticity, because we wanted to make sure that his buyers know that his glasses are authentic. So we branded him around the authentic, 100% authentic. And we've repeated that over and over throughout his site. Now, initially, when his feedback was 0, and he put the first item up there before he came to me, he got slammed with a Vero violation. And he had, of course, didn't have a clue what he was doing. And eBay just said, "Whoa, stop! No, you're brand new," and they just shut him down. Or as far as they took the listing down. I don't mean they shut him down. They took the listing down. Right.
Because they weren't sure that it was an authentic piece, and that's
exactly
what Vero is oftentimes, is they're advocating, that they can't authenticize the product from a seller that they don't know.
Exactly.
So,
so he had no branding. He had no store. He just threw a couple of pair of sunglasses, and so he threw them up there, and he got them taken down immediately. So it was not just one, but it was a couple of pair.
Oh.
So then he decided to look for, a business consultant that could help him work through that issue. So he actually came through Marcia and Harvey. He lives up there around that area, and he needed training as well. He knew nothing about the training. And so Marcia and Harvey went over and trained him, and then I set up the store for him, and then I have acted as the business consultant to guide him through all these other various different issues. Along with Marcia, she was helping with that initially. So what happened was we put up a couple of glasses slowly. After we got the store set up, we had to send an email over to eBay and let them know what we were doing. And they told us that we couldn't just, put up like 30 or 40 pair. We had to do it slowly. So what he had to do is he had to build a history. He had to sell a couple of pair and get feedback for those, and sell a couple of more pair and get feedback for those. And they watched him closely over the course of a good solid 2 months.
Wow.
And he had to build this business very slowly. And we kept in contact with the office of the president. Again, we went to the top, and we even talked to Griff on his show about it. So we learned what we had to do. It's not that we got special privilege. I don't want anybody to think that, but we didn't know what the process was. And we learned what the process was through this experience. And so you have to just put up a couple of things, sell, get feedback, put up a couple of more, and have a small number of listings up there initially. You can start building your inventory as you go and as you gain your feedback. They won't tell you that there's any certain magic number that you have to achieve as far as sales or feedback. It's just that, they monitor that on the back end. And as your feedback grows and as people tell, that these are authentic, and yes, we did get them in a great amount of time, and they are what they say they are, it's the buyers that help move the seller through that process. I also have another lady who had exactly the same problem. She was selling the designer handbags and purses, and back over on my site, her name is the Daffodil Rose, and she went through exactly this one right here. She went through exactly the same problem. She had some items taken down, and she had to build her reputation up slowly too. And she's now where she can sell the Dunionbergs and the Pradas and the Coach and all of that. So it's just a process, and you have to be patient with it, and just know that you will work through it. but you have to be consistent with it in building your business.
Now, I have one quick question about this.
Mm-hmm.
And if you already have feedback and you have a store, let's say, you know, you have a couple thousand feedback, but you've never sold a Coach bag, you still have to build your feedback up as that authorized seller. Is that correct?
Yes, you have to have the feedback for that item, that specific item.
Right.
It's not that it's not just that, you know, that you've got a large number or a small number. It has to be on that particular item that you're trying to sell, on the designer line that you're trying to sell.
I'm sure it doesn't hurt to have, you know, already built up a feedback reputation, but
right.
You know, whether you're starting from zero or starting from, you know, several thousand, if you start selling designer products, you're probably going to have to start off slowly.
Right, exactly.
Well, Sharon, this has been really informative, and your store designs are awesome. I love them.
Thank you.
And I can see all the thought that goes into creating a store design.
Thank you. And let me just, before we leave, show you something very quickly here on this store. And I don't want everybody to think that you've got to go out and have a custom design template. This lady uses Octiva to list. She found a template that she likes on Octiva. We simply sampled out the colors and made the colors match. And then I added this down here at the bottom that makes it look like a custom template. So we were able to do that, and so it looks like she has a custom template, although she is using an Octiva template. So there's lots of things that you can do.
So yeah, there's a lot of different ways that you can customize these stores for people. Just real quickly, Sharon, tell us how we can find you.
Oh, wow. You can do SharonWare.com. My website is DandelionConsulting.com. And I'm also known as the Queen of Patience. And so guess what? You can find me at queenofpatience.com as well.
Oh, well, very good. The Queen of Patience.
Yeah.
That's what we all need more of. So.
Absolutely.
Well, Sharon, I really appreciate you taking the time out this morning and showing us around and showing us some tips about maximizing our stores and getting newsletters and, you know, getting started on your store. I really appreciate it. Any last words before we head out?
I just think that everybody needs a store, and I totally am sold on the value of stores. And in today's competition and marketplace, you have to set yourself apart from the competition and make yourself rememberable. Is that the right word? Rememberable?
Memorable, maybe?
Memorable. There you go. That's a better word, memorable.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Stores are, you know, an eBay store will always be part of my my mix of different things on the internet because it's such good value.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Sharon, and well, hopefully we can get you back on sometime talking more about the stores.
I would love to, and thank you for the interview, Cindy. I appreciate it.
All right. Thanks a lot.